Welcome to iLecture Online. One of the most mysterious problems associated with rolling things and finding the acceleration is an object rolling down an incline when the object does have mass and does have a moment of inertia. Typically we ignore that part, but in this case we can't. And so how does it affect the way we do the problem? Again, we're going to use both F equals ma and torque equals I times alpha. You already are familiar with all the forces acting on an object that's rolling down the hill. We have the weight, we have the components mg sine theta, mg cosine theta, we have the normal force, we have the friction force. But what is the acceleration if we have to take into account the moment of inertia of the object? Well, we start with torque equals I alpha. Now the torque here is going to be caused by the friction force. So it's the friction force times the distance from the point of rotation to where the friction force is acting. Now we don't know what that friction force is. It could be all kinds of values. We know there's a maximum friction force of the normal force times mu, which is mg cosine theta mu, but we don't know what it is in this case. But we do know that it must be equal to I times alpha. I being the moment of inertia of a solid disk, alpha being the ratio of the acceleration, the tangential acceleration over the radius. So the friction force in this case will be equal to 1/2 ma. All right, then that goes into the equation F equals ma. F net, of course, equals ma, which means the aiding force minus the opposing force equals the mass times the acceleration. So what is the aiding force? It's mg sine theta pulling the object down. The opposing force is the friction force pulling it back up. Obviously, this one will be bigger than that because it will be rolling down. You never see the friction force pushing the object up. But notice now, instead of the friction force, we're going to use 1/2 ma, and that's the key to this problem. So once we plug that in, we solve for a, we get 2/3 g times the sine of theta. Normally, if we did not take into account the moment of inertia, it would be a equals g sine theta, but because that extra energy it takes for the object to rotate, it's going to be less than that. And that is how it's done.